It's Alex with alextucker.ca. Welcome to my Web Hosting Canada review. Now, Web Hosting Canada is one of the major players when it comes to web hosting in Canada, and in my opinion, which is fairly educated, they are actually the best web host in Canada. Especially when it comes to like actual web hosting companies that provide the full infrastructure of web hosting, such as shared hosting and managed servers and all that type of thing, managed WordPress even. So they have a lot going on, a lot to be proud of as a company, and you can really see if you look at Web Hosting Canada's reviews on their Facebook page and on their Google My Business page, you can really see that the vast majority of their customers have great experiences with them, regardless of their level of technical experience. So people who know what they're doing with WordPress or with their web hosting, who use Web Hosting Canada, have a great time with them, and people who need a lot of technical support also have very good experiences with Web Hosting Canada. So if you're someone who's newer to web hosting, if you're getting a website for the first time, this is a very good option. And if you know what you're doing and you're just looking to get the best possible deal and make sure that your web hosting is fast and secure, this is also a very good option. So that's kind of a brief overview of Web Hosting Canada. I've been hosting my website with Web Hosting Canada for 1.5 years now. I bought a 3-year term with them, and I will likely be keeping my current website and any future websites that I build with them, unless if I do move it, it would be for reasons other than the quality of the web hosting. It might be because I want a specific service that they don't have or something like that. But in general, for most people, especially Canadians, Web Hosting Canada is an excellent choice. So that's sort of my thoughts on Web Hosting Canada. Now let's take a look at their website and go over some of their features, some of their packages, pricing, and all that kind of stuff. Let's take a look. All right, so here we are at the Web Hosting Canada website, and this is the English version. Just as a note, Web Hosting Canada is a fully bilingual company. They're a completely Canadian company, and as another side note, their web hosting is completely green. It all runs on green energy. So, like I said before, they've got a lot going on and a lot to be proud of. But let's just take a look at some of the features. So these are the core services right here. If you hang it on the website a little bit, this guy over here will pop up and talk to you, and you can start a live chat with either a member. I don't want to click on it because it'll probably trigger it, but I think you can do either a member of support or a sales team member. Anyways, we'll just get rid of that for now, and it's still right there. And so they have sort of generic web hosting, which is you can install WordPress, you can install Magento, you can install a whole bunch of different free or premium web apps on web hosting. You can pretty much do what you want with it. There are certain rules within the terms of service, which you of course need to read, but for the most part, web hosting is very flexible. Cloud servers and dedicated servers are even more flexible, because in that instance you're getting dedicated resources that basically are for your web hosting needs and your web hosting needs only, whereas with web hosting, a lot of the resources that you're using are going to be shared with other websites on the same server. And if you want to use WordPress but you're not super technical, and you want, or even if you are technical but you just want to have more free time to spend on your website and your business, then managed WordPress is a really good option. And they have a really nice managed WordPress plan, and they're really, really reasonable rates, which we'll look at in just a minute. So here's just a common testimonial from someone named Richard. recently moved to Web Hosting Canada, and I would happily give them 10 stars. Apart from providing me with a solid technical environment, they provided me with absolutely first-class, friendly, informative, and fast support. And as I was saying earlier, if you go to their Facebook page or their Google My Business page, most of the reviews are 5-star reviews with very similar themes to that. And so we have some of their features here. They're built for speed. They're saying up to 3 times faster than competitors. And that actually might be an understatement, because all of Web Hosting Canada's hosting is built on Lightspeed. I believe it's all Lightspeed Enterprise. And that is many, many times faster than Apache, which a lot of their competitors, such as HostPapa and other Canadian and American and international web hosting companies, a lot of them still use Apache, even though Lightspeed is a drop-in replacement for Apache, and it's much, much faster. So they also use what they're calling the world's best control panel. cPanel with Cloud Linux is certainly the most popular control panel for web hosting, especially for using WordPress with web hosting. And of course, they have Softaculous for one-click installs of WordPress, Drupal, Magento, and many, many other web applications. They have, I think, 2 Canadian geolocations right now, 2 server locations. If I'm not mistaken, one is in Montreal and the other is in Vancouver or somewhere in BC. So basically between those 2 locations, regardless of where you are in Canada or even really anywhere in North America, you're going to be close enough to have good load times. And then if you need to have an international website, of course, you can get a content delivery network, commonly known as a CDN, such as Cloudflare, which has a free tier that you can use on pretty much as many websites as you want. They have 24/7 expert assistance, and as I mentioned earlier, the support is really good. When I started hosting my website with Web Hosting Canada, at this point, a year and a half later, with my career having been fairly focused around websites and WordPress, I'm pretty well educated on the topic. But when I started, I knew nothing about web hosting and WordPress, and their support was very helpful and probably helped me avoid some serious downtime. And they also have built-in security, so you need to worry a lot less about getting hacked than you would with a lot of other web hosts. And of course, you can get domains from Web Hosting Canada. They have really competitive rates when it comes to domain names. And we'll just go and take another quick look at their core services. So in addition to these ones, which I mentioned here, they also do have reseller web hosting. So if you want to kind of start your own web hosting company, or if you want to provide web hosting for a lot of clients, but you're not quite ready for a cloud server or a dedicated server, you can get reseller web hosting, or you can even get reseller web hosting if you just want to have all of your websites on their own cPanel account, which is more secure. And so let's just take a quick look at the web hosting pricing. So as you can see, it's super reasonable. And if you actually look at the, you can click on View the Geeky Details right here, and it's got all the information about the web hosting that you could possibly want. If you know what you're doing with web hosting, look at the geeky details for sure. And if you don't, take a look at them anyways, and maybe do some research so you understand them, because this is really you get a lot for your money basically with Web Hosting Canada. And I wouldn't recommend using the starter plan just because it doesn't come with free SSL certificates. So, I mean, this is really reasonable, starting at $392 a month and then rebilling at $799 a month. That's their rebill price is cheaper than most web hosting companies would sell their initial offering for. And then if you need to upgrade to enterprise, it's even quite reasonable as well. And so that's web hosting is great. It's probably their most popular service. That is true for most web hosting companies, and it's great for a lot of people, but you do have to do a little bit of technical stuff if you use web hosting. Like you will need to keep your own web application. Like if you're using WordPress, you would need to keep it updated and provide basically your own support for your WordPress. And you also need to do things like update PHP when it's time to do that. And sometimes you need to modify other server level things in your cPanel. It's not difficult, but it is technical. So if you don't want to have to do things like that, then you can get their managed WordPress hosting, as long as you want to use WordPress, of course. And their managed WordPress hosting, now managed WordPress can cost up to like some companies that do managed WordPress started at like $25-$30 a month for one website. So what they have here is very reasonable. Again, I would probably recommend starting at the pro level, rather than going for this is a little bit cheaper, but you get significantly less resources, significantly less space. So you're going to have a significantly less powerful website, basically. And if you're using like a heavy theme, then that could be a problem. So I would recommend starting at the pro level if you want to use managed WordPress or web hosting. And then if you need something like a cloud server, which is kind of like a VPS, I mean, it basically is a VPS. It's just a different kind of one. If you need a cloud server or a dedicated server or reseller hosting, you can take a look at those as well. It looks like basically everything is on sale right now. So this is actually a good time. They do have sales pretty consistently from what I've seen. So my affiliate link for Web Hosting Canada is in the description of this video. I would be very, very glad if you were to use it. And if you do sign up for Web Hosting Canada's services using my affiliate link, feel free to reach out to me through my website, alextucker.ca, and I'd be happy to provide you with a free consultation to help you get set up with your website, make sure you make the best choices for where you're going with it, and kind of help you iron out any kinks that might not be fulfilled by the services of the web host. Anyways, that's my Web Hosting Canada review. I hope you found it helpful. Again, I've been with this company for 1.5 years. I've been very happy with the service. I'm going to certainly continue using it until the end of my current term, and I will likely stay after that. I'm actually thinking about moving my website to their managed WordPress, even though I have 1.5 years left on the web hosting that I already paid for. I'm thinking of moving my website to their managed WordPress just because I'm confident that it's a good product, and I know that I would have more free time if they were taking care of things like WordPress updates and security. So yeah, that's kind of it in a broad nutshell. If you have any questions or need any information, feel free to leave me a comment, or like I said, you can reach out to me through my website at alextucker.ca. Always happy to help you out. We'll talk soon.